For the delay. We were supposed to start a bit earlier, but it's we are starting off right now without any delay. So thank you for the questions that have poured in over the past couple of days. Let us get started with VVS Laxman, who has arrived September. The first question, Lakshman, is from Vignesh. Do you think Raidu or Gurkirat should have got a chance to play in the fifth ODI?
Uh, Firstly, a very good afternoon to all of you. I think Raidu or Gurkrit should have got a chance probably early on in the series, probably in the third game, but not in the final decider, because you want to have a settled team to take on the South Africans, especially in a do or die match in Mumbai. So I still feel that the team which won in Chennai was the right team, the best playing 11 to have taken on South Africa in Mumbai. So probably no is the answer.
Uh, the next question is from Shubhadeep. He is a right-handed batsman. He asks whether he can get help by watching left-handers batting.
Uh, See, as far as right hand and left hand, while the technique or approaching a certain bowler may be different, but what's important to learn is the awareness, the match awareness each and every batsman has. Like I have learned a lot watching someone like a Brian Lara, the way he approaches playing the opposition bowlers, the way he plans his innings, and faces the tough situations. But having said that, the technique of a right-hand batsman and the technique of a left-hand batsman, there is a subtle difference because the angles of the bowlers will be different to a right-hand batsman compared to a left-hand batsman. So you can learn more from the mental aspects, but not really from the technical or skill aspect is concerned.
He also asked, he is generally a defensive player. So what exactly should he do to shift to big hitting?
I think there's a lot of exaggeration as far as the hitting ability of players concerned, especially since T20 cricket has unfolded. But what's important is once you have a basic defensive technique, you can definitely uh, get into a mold of hitting big shots. And I think it comes more with practice. It's important to practice, like how you practice your defensive technique, whether it's on the front foot or the back foot. It's important to practice even the big shots, and the more you do that, the better you get. And you can start off by having small targets. You know how to hit the ball down the ground with the turn against the spinners or against the fast bowlers, picking the right length to hit. Because sometimes when you come close to the pitch of the ball, it's very difficult to hit the aerial shot. So it's important to identify the length from where you can play the aerial shot. So all those small things which you focus on practice, you can improve your aerial shots and your power hitting. But it comes with practice, like your defensive technique, how much you must have practiced over the years, where now you're confident about your defense. I think it will be the same even with your hitting ability.
Okay, the next question is from Shujato. I think this may be a tough one. If you're given a choice between winning an ICC World Cup medal and playing a fourth innings performance that will give India the #1 test rating, which one will you choose?
It's really a tough one. But for me, it will be doing well for the country. Yes, I miss playing a World Cup because I think it's the best tournament, especially in one day format, to be part of it. But having said that, the pleasure and the satisfaction you get when you go out and win the match for your team, for your country, especially when the going is tough, in tough situation, I think that gives me more satisfaction. Yeah, but playing a World Cup match would have been really nice.
Uh, Shubham asks, what was the secret of your success in the fourth innings?
I think the challenge I face in the fourth innings, because when you're batting in the fourth innings, there's a lot of things in favor of the bowler, like the wickets. The wicket will be deteriorated. There's a target in mind where the conditions are in favor of the bowler, not so much in favor of the batsman, and just the pressure of winning the match for your team on tough batting surface. So I think that challenge got the best out of me, and it's great that whenever I was in a tough situation, I was able to get my best play. And it's not happened once or twice, but a lot of times. So I think it's more to do with my mental aspect of the game than my technique. I think it was more mentally challenging than more with my skill. So I always relish the opportunity of doing well when the going is tough for the batsman.
He also asks about the best moment of your cricketing life.
The best moment of my cricketing life was when I played for India for the first time in 1996 against South Africa. Because of the background I came from, I wanted to be a doctor, coming from a doctor's family, and my parents gave me an opportunity to pursue my dream of playing cricket for the country. And when you realize your dream at the age of 22, I think that's probably the most satisfying moment for anyone. And I always mentioned this in the past that in India, it's the wildest dream for any kid to represent the country, because there's so much of competition, and everyone wants to play for the country. And when you get that opportunity to represent the country, I think that was a big moment for me. And since then, all the matches I played for the country, won the games for the country, was definitely very satisfying, very fulfilling. But I think the first test against South Africa was the best moment I had in my cricketing life.
Yeah, that was also a very special third innings performance.
Yeah, again, yeah. So it started from my first test. It was a tough situation,
Yes.
and the Ahmedabad wicket was assisting the reverse swing from South African bowlers, and also it was assisting the spinners, even though they had just Pat Cox and Paul Adams. It was an important innings, and I remember the partnership with Anil Kumble, because of that partnership we were able to get a sizable lead, and then Srinath bowled a dream spell to win the game for us. But it was a great start to my test career, and as it turned out, those were the kinds of knocks which I relished more, and which were very satisfying for me.
Uh, Harshit asks, which batsman inspires you the most?
I was very fortunate to have got inspiration from a lot of batsmen while growing up, and not restricting to India, but even from overseas. But Sunil Gavaskar was someone I looked up to when I was growing up. From overseas, it was Viv Richards, it was David Carr, it was Greg Chappell, and then when I came across Mohammad Azharuddin, because he was from Hyderabad, he was the captain of Indian team. When I was 15, 16 years, I wanted to emulate him. And then Sachin Tendulkar. I feel that Tendulkar is a complete batsman who could perform in various conditions, in various situations, and had the skill to play the best bowlers with ease. So Tendulkar was probably the best batsman I have seen in my career.
Angshuman asks, what are the prospects of Pragyan Ojha to make a comeback now that he has made a shift to Bengal?
I think there's a good prospect of Pragyan Ojha making a comeback into the Indian team. It was unfortunate because if you remember, the last Test match he played was Tendulkar's last Test match, and that was against West Indies, and he got I think a 10 wicket all in that match, and he was the man of the match. So he'll be feeling really shattered that after that performance he didn't get to play for India. But we have to also remember that there were a lot of overseas matches during the last 1.5 years. Having said that, he also had some issues with his action, which he has rectified, and now he's playing for Bengal, which is a big move for him. And being from Hyderabad, definitely it was very disappointing for the Hyderabad, because he was the main bowler for Hyderabad. But he had a valid point, because he wanted to play elite, because Hyderabad plays in the plate group in Ranji Trophy. So he wanted to play for a better side in the elite division, so that he can perform and the selectors take notice of his performances. And he started off well in the Ranji Trophy. He's got 2 4 wicket all in the 3 games he played, and I feel that he will very soon come back into the Test match cricket. Yeah, Jadeja has been preferred over him because he had some exceptional performances over the last 3 games he played for Saurashtra. But I still feel that Pragyan Ojha has a very good chance of making it back into the Indian team. And for me, he's a wicket-taking bowler and he's a match winner. And he has done that in the past, and I don't see any reason why he can't do that in the future for India.
He also asks about the remodeled version of Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. He is the sacrificing his core strength a bit to gain a chance in limited overs cricket.
I think Bhuvaneshwar Kumar has really improved as far as bowling with the whole ball is concerned or bowling at the death is concerned, because he plays for the Sunrise franchise in IPL, and I've seen him bowling consistently good defensive lines and lengths, especially in IPL format. Having said that, his core strength is his swing. And Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, over the last 2-3 years, whenever he has done well, it was because of his ability to swing the ball, especially the new ball. So I think in the last two series in Bangladesh and against South Africa, we have seen that he's not been able to pick up wickets, which is so important when you play against a formidable batting lineup like South Africa with the new ball. And the reason for that is he's not able to move the ball consistently. So I think there's a technical flaw, and it's very important that the bowling coach Bharat Arun addresses the technical flaw and make sure that he gets back into swinging the ball, because he's very threatening whenever he swings the ball. And there's a lot of talk about him gaining pace. But since the time I've seen Bhuvaneshwar Kumar play for India, he's always been someone who's bowling at 135 and around that mark. So it's not someone who's started bowling at 140 or 145, and because of that, is compromised on his swinging the ball ability. So I think it's more about something to do with his wrist position, maybe alignment of his wrist, which is not allowing him to swing the ball at the moment. But he has to remember that if he has to be effective, if he has to have any kind of impact, especially with the new ball, it's his ability to swing the ball. And I'm hoping that he will get back to his best, which is swinging the ball and taking wickets early on for India.
Nigar Khan asks, which country did you enjoy most playing against?
Okay, that's it. I've always enjoyed playing against Australia. Not to say that I didn't enjoy playing against the other countries, but I somehow felt playing against Australia highly competitive and highly challenging. And I think the reason for that is that their bowlers were probably the best I played for the better part of my career, and all of them wanted to get you out. And that kind of challenge always got the best out of me. Like how I enjoyed batting in the fourth innings when the wickets were more suited for the bowlers, where the ball used to reverse, where the ball used to grip and turn, it was challenging for the batsmen. And the same against Australia. And I think I've always relished performing against them, and it gives me a lot of satisfaction whenever I get runs against Australia, because they were the best bowling lineup I've played in my career.
Aspi Unwala asks, you were excellent at shepherding the tail. So, what advice would you give to the current bats, like a Rohit or a Kohli?
I think even Virat and Rahane has done well with the tail. The only advice I would give them is work with your tailenders to improve their batting, because I used to take that extra responsibility to make sure that Zahir Khan, Harbhajan Singh, Ishant Sharma, even if Pragyan Ojha or RP Singh work on their batting. And luckily for me, all of them took a lot of pride in their batting. Someone like Anil Kumble, who was my vice captain when I started my international career, I had a lot of useful partnerships with him, and he also took a lot of pride. In fact, he went on to score 100 against England at Oval. Harbhajan got 2 Test centuries against New Zealand. So it's important that you make sure that your tailenders are improving in their batting. I can straight away remember 2 partnerships. One with Ishant Sharma when we won the Mohali Test match against Australia, and Ishant probably played a more important knock than me to just hang in there and absorb the pressure and play with a good defensive technique. And he works on his defensive technique. Someone like RP Singh, I still remember the Perth Test match where me and RP had a very important partnership, which allowed us to take a sizable lead. And even RP works hard on his batting. So all the bowlers I played with worked hard on their batting. So I think it's important that Virat or Rohit Sharma or Ajinkya Rahane, all of them have to make sure that the bowlers in the current Indian team work on their batting. And luckily, they've got someone like Bhuvneshwar Kumar who's got a very good technique. In fact, he got some half centuries in the tour of England. Umesh Yadav got 100 for Vidarbha in the Ranji Trophy. Ishan can bat. So they've got Ashwin can bat. So I think they've got bowlers who can bat. But it's about them believing whether they can consistently perform for the team, even in the batting department. And once that happens, I think it will help the team to get more runs on the board, because even the crucial 50, 60 runs in the end can help the team to have a sizable total and put pressure on the opposition.
So, do you think maintaining the strike at one and taking singles of the fifth or last balls is a better option, or having faith in the partner?
I also the opinion that giving strike to the partner was important, and it may be different to players like Yuvraj Singh or even a Rohit Sharma who can clear the boundary with ease. Because I didn't have that ability to hit sixes at ease, and then whenever I realized that I was trying to do that, especially when I started batting at number six in 2001, 2002. I was getting a couple of boundaries and throwing away my wicket. And that's when I realized that I have to play with a different strategy when I'm batting at number six with the tail-enders. And that's when I used to rotate the strike. And it again depends on the situation of the match and who is bowling. Because I remember, again, the partnership with R.P. Singh at Perth. RP was comfortable with all the bowlers, including Sean Tate, who was the quickest of the Australian bowlers at the time on a fast and fiery Perth wicket. But he was not comfortable with Brett Lee. So I took a lot of strike when facing Brett Lee and didn't allow RP to play Brett Lee at all. So I think it's more about communication at that moment, how you communicate with your partner and understand what is comfortable with and what is not comfortable with. It goes without saying that as many balls as possible you should take the strike, but doesn't mean that you don't give strike at all to your partner, because when you do that you send a message to your partner saying that you don't have faith in his abilities. So you cannot contradict your theory where you want your partner to work on his batting, and you're at the same time you're telling to him that I don't have faith in your abilities. So I think it's more about communicating properly and deciding at that particular moment what is comfortable with and what is not comfortable with.
Uh, Niharika asks, how difficult is it for batsmen to adjust to different positions? Because you have batted at 3, 5, and 6. So how difficult is it?
It is quite difficult, and that's the beauty of a team game, because everyone cannot do the same role, and then everyone has to get used to or get adjusted to the role assigned to them by the team management. So it was difficult for me, especially opening the innings, because I always was a middle order batsman for the first 4 years of my international career. I was asked to open. I took it as a challenge, but somehow I realized that I was not able to perform consistently as an opener. The next challenge was batting at number six, because I just mentioned that I didn't have the ability to easily clear the boundary. So it was a different kind of challenge. But the beauty of international cricket is that you have to get used to the challenges you confront, and once you get better, then you really feel proud of it. It's more difficult in a one-day format than probably in a test match, because in test match you still got time at your disposal, but in one-day format sometimes you don't have the time, and that's why I feel that the skill set required to do well at number five, number six, if suppose someone doesn't have, then it's not feasible for them to bat in that position. Like I never could bat at number five, number six in a one-day format, because it would have been tough for me, especially with the asking rate when you're chasing going up, or even when you're batting first, you want to play some big shots, and if you don't have the ability to do that, if you're walking in straight away to bat, then it will be a problem. But if you're set, you can still do that. So I still believe that someone like an Ajinkya Rahane is better suited till number four, but he will not be a great success batting at number six. Whereas someone like Suresh Raina will be a great success batting at number six, because he's got the ability to play the big shots right from the word go. So I think it's important to understand the skill set, but it's a challenge, and I realize that challenge playing for India in Test match cricket.
But some of your best innings in Test cricket have come batting in the top 3.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
how did you adjust to that?
actually, I think number three was my favorite position, and I always enjoyed batting at number three because that's the number I used to bat right from my younger days. And also opening. Again, I took it up as a challenge, but by the reason I left opening was that the moment I didn't score in a couple of innings, then the selectors used to drop me from the team saying that I'm a non-regular opener. Because of that reason, I stopped opening. But again, I got my first Test 100 opening and against a very formidable bowling lineup
Yes.
in conditions which helped the fast bowlers. So I think I've always realized where the ball comes onto the bat, where there is more pace off the wicket, and when you're opening or when you're batting in the top three, you get that opportunity upfront. Yeah, so I think the most important fact for me was the challenges each and every position poses to you and how you respond. And that's the beauty of international cricket.
Rustam asks, how much about playing a particular bowler is preparation and planning, and how much is it about instinct?
I always believe that cricket is an instant game. But when you allow your instincts to take over is when you prepare well, when you plan well. And that's when you're out there in the middle, you're not thinking about what to do. So your subconscious mind actually takes over. And when your subconscious mind takes over, then your reflexes are quick, your instincts are quick, and you get into position quicker. So I think a lot to do with preparation. And I believed a lot on proper planning and proper preparation. Not only me, but all the great players I played with or all the great teams I've been part of, everyone believed in preparing well for each and every match. Because once you do that, then you go with a relaxed mind. You're not
Mhm.
restless when you're out there in middle, and you play to the merit of the ball, and your body is just reacting to the ball which is coming at your way. But it's very important to prepare. Now, what does preparation mean? Preparation means that you have to make sure that what kind of surface you're playing on, what kind of bowler you're playing and playing against, and what the bowler's strategy would be. Like if I'm playing against South Africa and their bowling lineup will be a Dale Steyn, a Morne Morkel, say a Paul Harris, and then Philander. So you know for a fact that what Dale Steyn will be bowling to you, what are the areas where he'll be focusing, what Morkel will be bowling to you, what Philander will be bowling, or what Paul Harris will bowl. And accordingly, you prepare prior to the test series or prior to the test match. And once you do that, you are ready for the balls which are coming your way. And you try as much as possible to play with a relaxed mode. So I think preparation is very, very important if you have to do consistently well at any level.
Rukmini asks, in the All Stars, who is the one person you'd rather like to play with than against?
Unfortunately, I may be playing against that guy because Wasim Akram was for me the best bowler I've faced. And the reason I say that was because he had a lot of variations up his sleeve and he had total control over them. And he's not only do well with the new ball, but also exceedingly well with the old ball. And he was a master of reverse swing. So, but I think Wasim is in Shane Warne's 11, and I'm going to be in Sachin's 11. But I think the best part of All Star is you're going to again meet the top players you played with or against, and I'm sure that we all will entertain the crowds in US. And that's a great initiative by Sachin and Shane, where the legends of world cricket will be meeting for the first time in such an initiative and playing a cricket match in the US. So really looking forward to that tournament, and I'm sure that I'll do well against Wasim.
So, would Wasim be the best bowler you've played against?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And again, I had a great opportunity playing against some of the best bowlers in world cricket. You can't name a few. There were some excellent bowlers, but Wasim was probably a notch higher or better than the others. Just his ability to outthink the batsman and the way he could use his variations at will made him the most challenging bowler I faced in my career.
Ratan asks, barring the 281, is there one innings you'd rate above the others?
I know there's a lot of talk about the 281, and I think the reason behind that is the situation of the match we were in, and to bounce back in that fashion, go on to win the test match and test series against probably the best Australian team I played against. But having said that, I was very fortunate that in my career I was able to play a similar kind of knock, maybe not knock of that magnitude where 281 was a big score, but a similar kind of situation, and I was able to win or save the game for the country. And all those knocks are special. Like 96, I got at Durban in 2010 Test match, where we went on to win the game. The 148 I got against Australia at Adelaide, where again we were in a similar situation, and then me and Rahul had the partnership. The knock I played at Mohali, the 100 I got against Sri Lanka at Pisara Stadium
Yes.
in 2010. So I think there were a lot of such knocks which actually gave me a lot of satisfaction. And the reason I got satisfied was because it was when the team needed the most, and it was against a good opponent and in tough situations and tough conditions. So all those knocks are very dear to me.
Any limited over now?
Limited over knock. I think the best knock I played was against Pakistan in the 2004 one day match at Lahore. And I think the series was level, two all, and then that was a decider. And I went on to get that 100 against Pakistan and won the series. So I think whenever, again, in a winning cause, when you get runs, I think it's all the more satisfying. And also I had that fantastic week in Australia where I got 300s in
300.
that week. Against Australia, I got two, and against Zimbabwe one. So even that week was special to me. But I think the Pakistan knock was very special.
Aziz Khan asks, how seriously did you ever take your bowling?
I actually took it quite serious, but I wouldn't get too much of opportunity to bowl in the match. But in the nets, I used to bowl a lot till my back started hurting me. And once my back started hurting me, then I didn't really bowl a lot, even in the nets. But having said that, a lot of people will be surprised that I started off as a medium pace bowler uh, at my under 16s and under 19 level. In fact, I opened for the India under 19 when we toured England. So I was a gentle medium pace bowler who could swing the ball out. But later on, I started bowling more of off spinners. Yeah, so I think I feel that if you're skillful, I think it's very important to practice your bowling as well, especially now with the trend, the changing trend where you want a player not only good in one skill, but probably good in all the three departments of the game. You have to be an excellent fielder, you have to be a utility bowler, and you have to be a specialist batsman, and then you add that extra value to your team. And I believe that that gives an extra option, a bowling option to the captain, which will be very helpful to the team. So I suggest to all the young viewers that it's important that if you're a batsman, it's also important for you to work on your space, on your bowling, and try to be an all-rounder. India lacks all-rounders. India requires all-rounders.
Having said that, I remember you, Anil Kumble bringing you on
Yeah, that was
Eden Gardens
excellent.
to break
Yeah.
a partnership.
How important was that wicket? And I don't bowl after that in the
Yeah.
match. Yeah, so I remember that wicket. I got two wickets at international level. The first one was Adam Sanford. That was in
Yes.
Antigua where everyone bowled and everyone got a wicket. And then that breakthrough I gave. I think it was Mohammad Sami, and I got him out at mid-off. Yeah, and broke that partnership because I think that was a big partnership which was going on, and at the right time I got that wicket.
And at Eden Gardens.
At Eden Gardens, yeah, I love playing at Eden Gardens.
Uh, Mudassir Ahmed asks, who is the best finisher of India?
I felt that it was MS Dhoni because I've seen him finish the games with ease. And he had the rare ability to rotate the strike. He had the rare ability to hit the big shots, hit the sixes at will. So I always felt that MS Dhoni was the best finisher, and so was Yuvraj Singh. And India were very lucky to have these two finishers playing at the same time. Coming close to both these players and both these excellent batsmen is Suresh Raina. So I think these three batsmen were the best finishers I've seen. for India.
Uh, Siddharth asks, what are the technical changes a batsman needs to make to adjust from, say, a Perth pitch to a Galle pitch?
Very interesting question, and a very valid question, because there's a big technical adjustment you have to make when you're playing in Perth, especially when you know that there's going to be steep bounce from the length.
Mhm.
So you have to actually play uh, according to the length of the ball. You know, play to the length of the ball, because there have been times when, even though the ball is on the stumps, you would leave the ball if you know that it's a particular length. Where in India or in subcontinent condition, you are forced to play a defensive shot, or an attacking shot. You're forced to play a shot, because from that length you can the ball invariably will go above the stumps. So I think it's more about adjusting to play to the extra bounce offered by from the wicket. And when you're playing in subcontinent conditions, I think it's very important to stay low, because you know that there's not enough bounce from the wicket, and the ball is going to come below your hips. Whereas in conditions like Perth, the ball is just going to come above your hips. So I think the adjustment you have to make is more with playing the bounce, playing that extra bounce in Perth.
So, do you think a change of bat is also essential?
Yeah, in when you're playing in conditions like Australia and South Africa, you have to have a lighter bat, because the pace of the wicket is quick, and also because of the extra bound, the sweet spot, which may be a little on the lower side when you're playing in subcontinent conditions where there is not much of bounce, where the sweet spot is just adjusted to almost little higher than what it is in the bats when you're playing in subcontinent conditions, because that's where the ball is going to come and consistently hit your bat. So I think it's there is a difference in the bat we carry to Australia and in a bat when we play in subcontinent conditions.
Mohit asks, what has been your favorite ground to bat on?
Uh, in India, it has to be the Eden Gardens. Not necessarily because I got all those runs at Eden Gardens. I think probably the wickets whenever I played at the Eden Gardens were a true wicket, where there would be something for the bowlers, especially as the match progressed. But then the ball used to come onto the bat. And then you get value for your shots, because the outfield is really quick and lightning. And overall, if you ask me, I really enjoyed batting at the Gabba. Even though I didn't play too many games there, I think the wicket at Gabba really suited my style of play, where again the ball comes onto the bat nicely. There's nice even bounce, and you can hit through the line, and you can play on the rise. So I really enjoyed playing at the Gabba in Brisbane.
You scored 300s in 3 innings in Sydney.
Even SCG is special. Uh, I just feel that the ground is special, even though my favorite ground it is Lords. But I think uh, there is a lot of character to the SCG ground. Now I think with the change in the stands, I'm not been there for some time. But whenever I played there, I always relished playing on that wicket. Very similar to Eden Gardens, where the ball comes onto the bat and the outfield is very fast. But again, it offers something to the bowlers as the match progresses. So I've also enjoyed batting at the SCG.
One last question. A lot of users has asked this. How does one stop AB de Villiers?
uh, See, for me, he's my favorite player, and he's probably the most destructive batsman in world cricket. And it's not only in T20 format, it's not only in one-day format, but even in Test match cricket. And for me, he's a complete player who demoralizes the opposition bowling attack. And there have been times, even in IPL, when someone like Dale Steyn, who played a lot of cricket with AB de Villiers, is there in Sunrisers franchise, but even he really didn't know where to bowl to AB de Villiers, and such is his quality. But if there is one weakness in his chin, it is more with playing spin bowlers, especially when the wicket is stopping and gripping. And it's against left-arm spinners. I've seen that when he played against Shakib in Bangladesh, and I've seen that against Aksar even in India. So, and that's early on in his innings. But once he's set, then it's very difficult to stop him, because, as they call him, a 360 degrees player. He's got shots where he can play all around the park. He can play the conventional sweep. He can play the reverse sweep. He can hit down the ground. He can play the pull shot. He can wait on the back foot and play over extra covers. He can reverse sweep you for a six, and he did that against the quickest I've seen, which is Dale Steyn. He can play the lap shot and for a six. So I think he's got a great ability to maneuver the bowling, maneuver the field set by the opposition captain. And his greatest strength is not only in his quick feet and hands, but also in his head position. And because even though he moves so much in the crease, but I think his head position is fantastic. It's so still, and because of that, he can play his shots at will. So I think he's probably the best batsman in world cricket at the moment. The only option is to get him out early, and if possible, get a left-arm spinner and try your luck.
Uh, that'll be it from us today. Thank you, VVS, for being
My
here.
pleasure.
And thank you all for sending your questions. Have a nice day.